Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are dismantling and reviewing Huawei's latest basic flagship smartphone, the Pura 70 Ultra. This new model is priced at $1,360, and we're excited to take a closer look at it. Let's dive right in. So upon opening, we see its lift structure is located in the right part of the back cover. Separate from the main camera, we observe its movement, which is divided into two parts. One part is the motor responsible for moving the lens cover on the outer shell, pushing the lens cover outward, but in fact the module's movement involves two hidden motors used to lift the module. In other words, this is how it works. This main section above is the main optical component, and this motor purely makes room for the module's up and down movement. It is divided into two parts, so you can see its layout logic. The motor responsible for lifting and lowering is positioned to the left of the main camera. If this were the Pura 70 or Pura 70 Pro, the main camera would be in this position, with the telephoto lens here. Given the telephoto lens is here, this space can be used to hold the horizontal telephoto module. But because in the Pura 70 Ultra the telephoto lens is moved to the bottom, this area must have an additional protrusion. This protrusion compensates for the horizontal space taken up by the telephoto module. One thing I am still unsure about is how the phone remains waterproof, given that the retractable part will definitely have gaps around the edges. We need to take a closer look at this later on. I may need to take photos with my phone at each step since the screws are too numerous and complex. If I don't take photos, I may forget how to reassemble it. Once the screws are removed, I found the lens cover can be pried off, but before doing so, I want to show you something. At the bottom, you can see a white piece. It's a soft rubber block placed between the outer and inner frames. This component helps achieve waterproofing by creating a seal between the outer and inner rings. We will take a closer look at it later when we open it up. Okay, so let's remove the soundproofing module from the lens cover. The adhesive makes it more apparent now. This ring is used for waterproofing. It wraps around the moving lens module in the middle, and as it moves up and down, it prevents water from entering through the gaps. As long as this seal is maintained, the lens should remain waterproof. I want to reconnect it and power it on, so let's reattach the ribbon cable, turn the device back on, and take a look at how the lens moves in its open state. Can you see it? So, did everyone see how the waterproofing works? It's done using a flexible rubber piece, with one side adhered to the base and the other adhered to the moving lens cover. As the lens moves up and down, the rubber's integrity isn't broken because it can flex with the movement. It's similar to how a turtle's neck moves. If you've seen a turtle's neck in action, you know how it can retract and extend. When the turtle's neck extends and retracts, it creates a wrinkling effect, similar to the movement of the lens module. I also want to confirm whether the lens module's focusing is achieved directly through the retractable mechanism. Let's enter a manual mode first. As you can see, while I'm focusing, the lens's retractable module also moves back and forth. This shows that the lens focusing is directly controlled by this mechanism. The hard ring motors complete the focus adjustment. It seems there are a couple of them, likely two, that push the module back and forth to achieve focusing. Up to this point, we've understood most of the mechanism's principles: how the lens cover lifts, how focusing is achieved, and how the lens itself retracts. However, there are still some smaller questions, such as the use of 8 screw rods. It seems these rods are divided into. The image stabilization appears to involve the sensor, but the specifics of how it's done, as well as the large internal components, remain unclear. Further investigation may require a more destructive teardown. For now, I want to use this phone to take some photos and test its capabilities, so I won't proceed with a destructive teardown just yet. Once I've completed my testing, we can continue with the teardown process, which will likely involve dismantling the device down to its components. For today, we've provided a general overview, and we'll delve into a more in-depth teardown next time.